Hello students, today we'll talk about the beginning of World War II in Europe. So when Hitler took over Germany, the first thing he did foreign policy-wise was take over Austria. We call this Anschluss because there's a union between Germany and Austria. Not a takeover, but a union because Austrians speak, you guessed it, German. So next place Hitler went in 1938 was the Sudetenland, which is the outside of borders of Czechoslovakia. Now, his excuse for taking over that area was they spoke German, saying we were part of the German homeland. So after that happens, Chamberlain, Prime Minister of Britain, flies to Germany, and he meets with Hitler. They call it some Munich Agreement. And Chamberlain comes home and says, yes, I have peace in our time. Did Hitler want peace? I don't know, but next thing you know, Czechoslovakia is gone, taken over by Germany. Just that little yellow part up there, top of Poland, that will also connect the Germans, called the Polish Corridor. Now, September 1st, 1939, Hitler invades Poland, blitzkrieg. Also, remember, Stalin, USSR, invades also the other side, so it's half and half. This is when we have something called the phony war, where the war was declared, no shooting happened, and there's actually hopes for peace. But on April 9th, 1940, Denmark and Norway will be invaded. And you can see there is Norway, and here's Denmark. Yes, I've been to both of them. You see how Denmark's just islands. This is Neville Chamberlain. He will resign, or his government will fall apart after Hitler invades Poland, and he will actually die the next year. And Churchill will take over, the bulldog. Now the Low Countries, the Netherlands, which you know is Holland, and Belgium will be invaded May 10th, 1940. We call them the Low Countries because they're below sea level. There's the Netherlands or Holland. There's Belgium. We get some good waffles. So this is when the British have soldiers in Europe. They're trying to get them out. And then Kirk. Germans have them surrounded. Many reasons why, a lot of explanations why Hitler didn't attack. I don't know which ones are true because they're all just rumors. One of them was he didn't want to take his tanks into the Low Countries. One of them was he said attack, someone said not to. But anyways, the British saved 300,000 men. If Hitler finishes the British off here, the British are pretty much out of the war. So we call it the Miracle of Dunkirk. That looks familiar. All right, the Maginot Line. This was a defensive line that was built in France to protect them from the Germans after World War I. The problem is, this is a different kind of war. So what did the Germans do? Went right around the Maginot Line. Good defense, France. All right, so June 14, 1940, Paris falls. I think they're looking for the closest McDonald's. It's here somewhere on this map. This is Pétain. This is a World War I hero who turns into a World War II villain in France. He's going to lead what we call the Vichy France, which will be like a free, quote unquote, France the southern part of France, which is really controlled by Germans, but they let the French, with Pétain leading, control them as France. And the upper part would just be part of controlled by the Nazis. Well, it's actually interesting. We're actually going to go to war with France because of this in Africa when we get involved. This is the same rail car that Germany was forced to sign the World War I peace agreement with, the armistice. So Hitler got it out of storage, brought it back, and made the French sign surrender papers there. This is the French resistance who are going to fight against the Germans in France. This is Charles de Gaulle, the leader of the Free French. I am Charles de Gaulle. This is what happened. The French resistance caught you. I'm sorry, if you were caught, the French resistance was caught by the Germans. So what they did was they kept really small groups of people so you couldn't tell on somebody else. There's like 4 or 5 people in each group. That way, if you got caught, you couldn't snitch on more people because you didn't know anybody else. All right, the Battle of Britain. If the Germans come, what to do and how to do it. So Britain's the last place, really, in Europe that Hitler wanted to take over. That in Russia, or Soviet Union. So Hitler bombed and bombed and bombed Britain. The British actually were in the subways hiding the people. What they did was they kept their airplanes just north of where the Germans could reach without running out of gas. So then they'd come down, attack the Germans would leave, and the British would go back and hide up north where the Germans couldn't reach them. And this is a famous quote by Churchill. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Talking about the pilots who saved the British from the Germans. So you can do now, since you took notes on all this, you'll now write and draw us a 6-panel cartoon taking 6 steps from this PowerPoint and drawing them.